Nobody wants death. Nobody wants this. But the thing is, it's what the political focus is on a divide. They're trying to, not to say Ukrainian people are bad. No, it's like Ukrainian people are good, but they're being used by the West to do the bidding of the West. That's the Russian message.
Okay, but here's my question. Let's say that's the Russian message. I believe that is the Russian message. But the people that are suffering, the people that are getting killed are not the Westerners. There's going to be the Ukrainian people. So they're the ones that are eating it.
Of course, and Russians don't want that because now the Russian soldiers are dying too. And there's no winners in the conflict, regardless on which the people are the ones who are suffering. Here's the fact that, okay, so if Russia is truly at war, and this is like me not being against Russia, but just a question. Why is Russia, it's a World War III thing, like you said, it's economic, it's sanctions and all this stuff. Why is Russia still, and Russia basically straight up saying the whole West is our enemy. Because you're supplying the weapons, you're supplying the intelligence, the mercenaries are there, blah, blah, blah. NATO on the borders. But why is the Russia then selling energy to the enemy?
To the Europeans. I thought the same thing. I brought that up.
So if at any point you're going to focus and say, oh, it's the Russians' fault, it's the Westerners' world. No, like the way I see it is like, if it was truly a genuine war, an honest war, which is horrible to describe war, right? Why would you supply, like,
the people that are threatening you, why would you supply them with
energy
to threaten you?
To threaten you.
Yeah.
Makes no sense, right? So I guess it's the way I see it, again, to conspiracy, we just went through 2 years of COVID, right? What did COVID do? COVID destroyed the disseminated economy everywhere in the world, regardless how you look at it. It disseminated. What else it did? It raised prices of gas in Quebec. It's now $2 a liter, which is expensive. So middle class is suffering because, produce is up, your cost of living is up. Most people still make the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Your salary
but everything else is going up.
So the middle class is going down. COVID is over for whatever reason, right? Most places like Canada is the last one to catch up for whatever reason. But I just traveled through Europe. There's no more masks. There's no more restrictions. Nothing. I just spent the week in London. Nothing. Not even a hint of COVID. And I don't mean COVID like a disease, but a COVID in terms of
reactions of people.
But for some reason, it feels like it didn't finish to complete the job, right? So now, let's hit him with something else. Let's continue to destroy the economy, because the first thing they did, we're killing people. We killed people throughout the ages, but let's continue to kill people, but let's also continue to shift the wealth, right? So the middle class continues to die out, because here's the interesting thing. I haven't been in Russia I've been away. Like, my family immigrated to Canada in 1995. I was 16 years old. I'm 43 now. I will be 43 in a month. And I've been to Russia, a handful of times, maybe for 1 week at a time, max, maybe 4 or 5 times. In the beginning, when I played basketball for Russian national team, I came maybe 2 or 3 times. And then I came to visit my family twice since then, quite literally. That was my 3rd time. And I came to visit maybe like for 4 or 5 weeks, and I would change the ticket every time because I couldn't believe how much the country changed and how much better it is from my perception and understanding what I thought it would be.
But when you came, it was so much. When you came to Canada, you were so close to the Iron Curtain falling. It was still at that precipice.
It was still like Moscow in the 90s is basically South Philadelphia right now. But but a better example, maybe South Chicago. Bad example, but it was bad. It was lawless. It was just Wild Wild West. And but I'm talking about in terms of quality of living. There's negative things that I noticed in Moscow, but in terms of overall wealth that you experience right away the moment you step foot into Moscow. I haven't been in the rest of the country much. I just kind of a little bit outside. So I cannot judge. Obviously, you cannot judge the rest of North America by visiting Toronto or New York or LA. You cannot do that.
We have Laval also.
We have Laval also. But it was interesting to see that Russian people are wealthy, and I would say per capita, Moscow people are wealthier than most of the people I experienced in recent years in terms of their possession, like physical. Most people own
car.
No, like I'm talking about like substantial ownership, like real estate, house, apartment, triple apartment, like rental properties, outright own it, not even mortgage. I'm talking about outright own it, more than one property. And everybody has a car, everybody has a really nice job, all kids have high educations, everybody travels outside for leisure, vacations, and investments across the world.
That's a drastic difference from the Russia that the 90s left.
Exactly, yeah. But even quality of life itself, in terms of like, you have maybe 24-hour depanneur running around the corner. There's a huge supermarket that's literally on the corner, the same thing. Yeah. Everything accessible anytime, same deliveries. I've seen robots delivering food on the streets to your houses. Like this future's already there. There's also things like
it's like a mix of the US, Japan, and China.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because there was like the facial recognition technology is there too already.
I hate that stuff.
I hate that stuff too, but like it scares you because you can walk into the metro without paying because it just scans your face. You can walk into the grocery store, it just scans your face and you walk out with your...
It'll charge you.
It's crazy.
I have one. This brings up a question that I've had for a while. I guess I could ask you, because it's so advanced. They've worked so hard. Putin reshaped Russia. Why risk it all? Why risk the safety now with this? That's what I don't get.
Well, it's going back to the same thing. Is Putin really like? Is it part of the same issue? Like, is it, like the new topic is WF here in Canada. Like most of the government here.
The World Economic Forum. They're bought and paid for. I know that.
Exactly. So apparently Putin was a member of that back in the 90s or 2000s.